On today's edition, we'll be showing you what took place during the Lagos Photo Festival, which had people from inside and outside Nigeria attending as participants and observers. Then for all my lovers of the stage, we have something just for you on today's episode. A warm welcome to the program. I'm Melinda Akinlami.
Literature is in many ways like faith. It's a leap of imagination. I write because I want to write. I write because I have a story to tell. There is this urge always to write and put things down.
It's gradually becoming one of the biggest events to look forward to every year on the art calendar in Nigeria, as photographers from across the world interpret the theme of this show. But this year, Art House was privileged to see two sides of the Lagos Photo Festival.
The 2018 Lagos Photo Festival began with a pre-exhibition initiated by the U.S. Ambassador Stuart Symington called Niger Gems, showing 42 works highlighting Nigeria's natural beauty, which was held at the African Artists Foundation, Lagos.
We believe that through cultural exchange, we build better understanding between our two countries. Nigeria and the United States share a lot in common in terms of our appreciation for music and the arts. And by sharing those commonalities, we can build stronger bonds. We also believe that it's important for Americans to understand the beauty that exists here in Nigeria, to understand that Nigeria has a lot more to offer than just the petroleum resources that everyone talks about so often, that there is also a tremendous wealth of human capital here, as represented by these photographers and by the artists that are exhibited in other parts of the photo festival. The ambassador had an opportunity to travel to all 36 states of the country, and he saw things that maybe most Nigerians actually don't have the opportunity to do so. They also want an opportunity to appreciate the beauty that exists throughout the country. And through the means of utilizing the eyes of these photographers and the tool of our online media platforms, we gave these photographers an opportunity to show off the beauty, and Nigerians an opportunity to actually view it. And also, they had an opportunity to vote on what they considered to be the best.
Then later that day, the opening ceremony of the festival begins. Showing images which have traveled many continents to get here.
This year's edition of the festival is curated by 4 women. So the selection is, we would like to believe, a little bit different from previous years. Very, not only soft, but very decisive. I think all of the artists selected know exactly what they're talking about and are able and have interpreted this quite beautifully and eloquently. And so we're quite glad to have all of them here.
So our mission is really to try to shed light on important women artists that are often overlooked. And in here we really focused about time, because the theme of this year's festival is Time Has Gone. So it speaks about the urgency of time passing, but also the look that we have towards the future, or hopes for the future.
Earlier this year in South Africa, you know, there were demonstrations at the Rhodes University because of the name of the university and because of this statue, this monument, and they wanted to debunk, to dismantle the monument. That's what happened. And the artist, she took that photograph at the exact time when they dismantled the monument. So that's what you can see on the picture. And she's also staging herself with these very specific outfits and the wings in front of the monument that is being debunked. So I think it's a very powerful photograph, and you can see that people were taking pictures with their phones, so it's also different layers in the pictures, and it really makes you feel what happened at that important time in South Africa at Rhodes.
The event, which is held annually, features emerging photographers alongside their senior colleagues.
Before, it used to be just one hall. You have your exhibitions, and interested public will just come in, go around. They will go around and inspect the artworks, the photography, and they admire the, you know. But this one is completely unique. Unique in the sense that at the same time we have this exhibition going on almost at the same time in various centers. That makes a lot of difference.
I use history as my particular medium to talk about that preoccupation with knowledge and epistemologies and stuff. So I use history, and I use like ancestrality and memory and embodied recalling and remembrances to make space for a different way of knowing the past and how the past shapes our present. So that's what I'm exploring in the video. So it's really about different knowledge systems, and history is my material to explore different hierarchies and shift hierarchies of ways of knowing.
The project I did for Lagos Photo Festival is an audio dramatization of a court case that occurred in Lagos from 1871 to 1888. And the transcript of that case is all in English, but what we did with the audio dramatization was to restore the original languages that people would have used. What we're trying to tell people is that when you use your African archives and you see that they're all written in English, you should also keep in mind what was the original language, what might people have actually said, what did the translator say, and what did the court clerk record. And all these factors are present even though they are invisible in the African archives.
As you can see, these works are made of different details extracted from banknotes or stamps, and while in the middle of the composition, basically you would have a map. So these are old maps from generally from the 19th century, but part of the work here, like the one just behind me, is work from the early 20th century. Can say that my feelings are very much influenced by educations and everyday experiences, and also relation to environment and friends, and I also listen to news. So that's how I can, get driven to until the final works.
It includes workshops and classes for professional artists, art fairs, exhibitions, and is part of an ongoing project designed to use art in public spaces as a medium for increasing societal awareness.
The festival is to be both an international event where you can discover artists from Africa and from all over the world, young artists and confirmed artists, and it's also, of course, the opportunity to show some Nigerian arts and to somehow create relation with young photographer and develop the works of young photographer in Nigeria. So that's very important. We have several programs, trainings, workshops for young photographer in Nigeria with mentors. So Nigeria Gems is one also of this program.
The Lagos Photo Festival, organized by the African Arts Foundation, is the first international art festival of photography in Nigeria, launched in October 2010.
I trust them to always bring shock factor to the whole anytime, any day, just like some of the works you send in every week.